I'm going to cut off your head now.
Good enough.
God of War Ragnarök is around the corner, so I had to do a 3D print and paint of Kratos and Mimir. And because painting Mimir's head alone is enough content for one video, I'm going to show you that in this video, and the next video will be attaching Mimir to Kratos. The first step after prepping and priming was to give the head a base coat of pale flesh. Then I sprinkled on different colors with a brush. I will show you that in more detail in the next video. Then I knocked it down with the base coat color pale flesh. Then I used watered down red, yellow and blue as washes to tint the pale flesh. Removing the excess with a magic eraser sponge. However, the rope around his head didn't make that easy, so I also needed to go in with a brush to remove the wash from some areas. And then this is the result after the washes. I again knocked it down a bit, this time with khaki to give him a slightly darker tan. And then I went back in with pale flesh, but only from the top. And with that, the skin color was done for the moment. For his horns, I used charred brown as a base color, followed by polished gold that I applied by dry brushing with a small makeup brush. By the way, I recommend to apply varnish after every color. The only step I didn't apply varnish was when I did the sprinkling, because I was too impatient to wait for the varnish to dry for 7 different colors. But since this was the first step, I wouldn't have destroyed a lot of work if I messed this step up. For the rope, I started with light brown. Then I mixed light brown with yellow olive and water and painted over the light brown base coat. For his neck I used black, light grey and green olive. Then I jumped over to his beard that I base coated with light grey. And over that a wash of black and light grey. Then it was time to paint his tattoos, for which I mixed grey-blue and yellow olive to imitate the color of faded tattoo ink. Then it was time for the final details, starting with black pastel. I brushed all around the rope to create the effect of a shadow or just dirt where the rope scratches his head all the time. I also used the same pastel black to shade his beard. Then I used red pastel for some skin color details and for the lips. I also tried grey pastel to tint his eyebrows with that, but that didn't really work too well. To remove the excessive pastel, I blow it away with my hairdryer. Then I painted his second eye black as a base color for polished gold. According to my research, Mimir should actually have two golden eyes in the new game and a different beard style. However, I'm asking myself who groomed his beard. Is that Kratos' job? Anyway, since the sculpt of the head looks more like the 2018 version, I will stick to only one golden eye. Then I switched back to the pastel and mixed blue with green and a tiny amount of black to recreate a hair stubble shadow. Afterwards, I went back to the eyebrows with dark gray and yellow for the beard. I didn't want the whole eyeball to be golden, so I mixed that white with polished gold for the iris. Then I reused that white to dry brush his beard. And then the polished gold at his horns was a bit too subtle for my taste, so I went back in there as well. And a last round of yellow mustardy pastel, and then I called it good, and Mimir is now waiting to be attached to Kratos in the next video.